Hello everybody, I'm Dan. In this video, we're going over a fundamental that is so important that it has its own score come tryout time, the 8 to 5 marching. Before I get into some of the intricacies of marching forward and the 8 to 5 step, I'm just going to show you a few 8s back and forth, and then we'll go from there. So once you start moving forward with the chair step, everything with the chair step still applies. It's just that you're moving forward, all right? The difference lies kind of in that you need to keep a forward momentum, which I'll get into in a second, and also that you're placing somewhere different. In fact, you're placing 22.5 inches forward every single time with an 8 to 5 step. And you can just begin to feel that really as you start marching 8s. I implore you not to take out a measuring tape and make sure that it's exactly 22.5 inches for every step. That's just kind of bonkers really, but just feel it and you'll be able to know how big that stride is in time. Now, to keep forward momentum and everything, this is where the staying off the heels that I was talking about in the mark time video comes from, all right? You want to stay on your toes, because when you make that first step forward, you can only go so far just bringing that toe down while staying on the heel. But magically, right, if I get up on my toes here, or on the balls of my feet really, on my back foot, then I can propel to the 22.5 inches forward. So stay off of your heels, not only to reduce the shock that's going to come up to your upper body if you do that, but also to make sure that you're getting forward enough. Like shorter people are going to probably have to get more onto the balls of their feet when they march forward. Something else to keep in mind when you're marching forward or doing literally anything in the band is that you still want to keep that separation of your upper body from your lower body. Like, I'm a bit of a heavier guy, so anything that I'm going to be doing is going to naturally be sending a little bit more shock up to the upper portion of my body. But regardless, your goal is to strive for absolutely separated entities from your top half and your bottom half. One more nice tip with any marching really, because when you get to adjusted step like 6 to 5 and 10 to 5 and 12 to 5, where it's 6 steps to 5 yards or 12 steps to 5 yards, anything like that, you're going to want to think about a midway point. So with an 8 to 5, it's going to be with your right foot in 4 counts is when you're going to be halfway between both of these yard lines. That's just something to keep in mind down the road and keep as a little mental heuristic to help with your marching. I'll show you more forward marching 1 8 at a time so you can see where these principles are coming into play, but I also implore you to think about that yourself, because really it's going to look a little awkward and you're going to do this thing called bicycling if you don't adhere to that nice one and up in the propelling forward type idea. I don't really want to show you what bicycling looks like. Rather, if you bicycle, I will tell you. That's just my personal preference on how I'll go about teaching, but you'll certainly find out bicycling if that becomes a problem. Eight to 5 is probably one of the most important things that we do in the band, and you don't want to be thinking about all of this stuff when we start throwing music into the mix as well as other marching fundamentals. So send me a video in the Google Classroom and I will make sure that you're doing everything right, so down the road you don't even need to think about it. Thank you, and go Bucks.